In 6.5, we are going to discuss how to find trig graphs of secant and cosecant. We want to figure out how to graph those. So just a reminder, secant is the same thing as 1 over cosine x. So if that's our function that we're trying to graph, notice that anytime this is equal to 0, you're going to have a vertical asymptote. And the same thing is going to happen with cosecant. Cosecant is 1 over sine. So anytime that this value is 0, you're going to have a vertical asymptote. So secant and cosecant have undefined values that occur periodically. Okay, so they're going to have periodic vertical asymptotes that just keep happening. So to graph secant and cosecant functions, we are going to start by graphing the related sine or cosine function. So it's going to be really, really similar to start out from what we did in 6.4, and that will provide the structure. So just a reminder, when we are graphing sine and cosine, we have A is our amplitude, sine B, remember that has to be factored out. That gives us the period, 2 pi over B. C is our phase shift, so left or right, and then D is our vertical shift, up or down. So when we go to graph this, we want to graph cosecant. So instead of graphing cosecant, because we're just not ready to graph that yet, we're going to graph its related one. We're going to graph sine instead. Okay. Now I'm going to write down all of the things that we know about sine just to help us graph it. So the amplitude, of course, is 2. The period is 2 pi divided by b, and b in this case is 1. We have a phase shift. We're going left pi over 2, and then there's no vertical shift. All right, so let's graph this. So the first thing we're going to do is go left pi over 2, so negative pi over 2. This is a sine function, so it's going to start at the origin. And then the period is 2 pi. So from negative pi over 2, it's going to go through its entire cycle in 2 pi. So that means it gets all the way through its cycle by 3 pi over 2. And that means halfway in between, it's going to hit its center point. Amplitude is 2 and negative 2. So that's what our sine function looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and go the other direction with a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's negative pi, negative 2 pi. Okay, so that is the sine function. So now here's how you graph the cosecant function. Okay, this is what we're actually graphing. So anywhere that this hits at 0, those are the vertical asymptotes. So we're going to draw in vertical asymptotes for all of these. And then the cosecant graph, at the top of all of these, it's going to go the opposite direction. A little parabola there, and then from the bottom, a little parabola there, and from this, a parabola here, and a parabola here. Okay, so this blue part is not actually part of it. That just gave us the structure for how this is going to look. Okay, this is actually the graph of cosecant. It looks like that. When you're graphing these yourself, go ahead and leave this part in. Go ahead and leave the sine curve in because it's annoying to erase it. Now, I just want to pull out a couple interesting things about this. The domain is all real numbers except where the asymptotes happen. So just go to the first positive asymptote. It's right here, and I erased it. It's at pi over 2. So it's pi over 2 plus, and the asymptotes happen every pi, so pi n. And then the range is going to be y values that are greater than or equal to 2, and y values that are less than or equal to negative 2. Okay. We'll check out another one in the next video.